Sometimes it feels like we're the SCP monsters that are stuck in containment, eh? On one hand, we're stuck inside. It's tough, but when was life ever easy? On the other, we're safe and sound from whatever might be lurking the streets, or floating in the skies, or hiding underground. Although I guess if we look at some of the SCPs we're discussing today, we might not be as safe as we assumed. There are plenty of anomalies that can make the mundane positively murderous. So stay sharp or end up as a footnote on some containment procedures. Hello horror heads and welcome back to the scariest channel on YouTube, Top 5 Scary Videos. I'm your horror host Keegan Hughes, and today we're going to be counting down the top 5 scary SCP monsters that can never escape, part 19. Before we begin, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe for more monstrous manglers. Wicked, let's get going. Coming in at number 5, we got SCP-088. We'll kick our list off today with a horrifying reptilian monster that can easily ruin the lives of everyone around it. And no, I'm not talking about the political elite. We're talking about SCP-088. This humanoid with reptilian features was discovered deep underground, surrounded by gold deposits and strange objects. It appears to be mummified in a languid position, but is actually in a state of hibernation. Thanks to its current containment, it will remain as such, but it may recover if exposed to a more hospitable environment. We don't want that happening. See, this thing's around 6,000 years old, and it's capable of secreting all sorts of hazardous biological materials from its mouth and hands. In the 70 years that it's been contained, it has come to life twice, and both times it was able to breach containment by using a caustic fluid that dissolves most minerals and metals. Whatever the substance is, it's dangerous. The Foundation does believe that it has strategic value, but they're not willing to risk waking it up to extract it, and as such they keep 088 contained. There's another compound that 088 can use that is possibly even more dangerous than the corrosive one. When exposed to this stuff, people undergo painful mutations. They turn into creatures with the same physical characteristics of the beast itself. Some say that it's the creature's method of propagation. Those that received larger doses of the compound mutated faster, and they actually put their safety on the line to protect it itself. So if this thing were to run free, we'd have a lot more indoctrinated lizard people on our hands. Not that such a thing is too uncommon these days, but hey, if we can slow it down, we should. Coming in at number 4, we've got SCP-198. Keep a close eye on your beverage containers, okay? I'm talking about any vessel meant to carry consumable liquids. Seriously, take no chances here, folks. If it feels off, don't try to pick it up. SCP-198 is a beverage container that takes many different forms. People have reported it appearing as a styrofoam cup, a beer bottle, soda cans, shot glasses, a water bottle, and more. Whatever shape it might be, it will also partially be full of whatever you'd expect to be in it. Water in a water bottle, Coke in a Coke can, coffee in a coffee cup. Containment procedures say that it appears to be a white porcelain coffee mug these days with blue vertical stripes. If no one's trying to interact with it, 198 does not exhibit any anomalous behavior. You can even pour stuff into it and nothing odd will happen. However, once a human picks it up, the show starts. After around 2 to 5 seconds, the vessel will instantly bond itself painfully to the person's hand. Folks have described searing, fiery sensations. No heat can be detected though. This happens pretty much no matter what, as long as the subject can get a grip on 198. And gloves don't prevent it from happening, nor does any other sort of protective measure. If someone grabs the cup or bottle or whatever it is in the moment, it will bond on what appears to be the molecular level. And it's permanent too, at least until the death of the holder. Even attempts to cut the cup free have been foiled by instantaneous healing factors presenting themselves to keep the two together. Post-bonding, the liquids previously held in 198 will disappear and be replaced by a very gross fluid or semi-solid. The material will fill up to the very top. Substances vary between people, but there's always some sort of bodily fluid or excretion. Saliva, sweat, blood, bile, mucus, urine, feces, and more. And combinations too. Yikes. Once 198 is full, the person holding it will become dehydrated and emaciated very quickly. Their malnourishment will increase until the point of death, usually over a period of 24 hours. Ingestion of standard food, liquid, and IV drip nutrients won't do anything. It seems the only way to gain nourishment while bonded is by consuming the contents of the container, and I'd rather die. It seems that that's the opinion of many test subjects too. See, the rate of dehydration and emaciation will stay the same even if you're consuming the contents. So subjects must consume plenty of yuck to stay alive. Even the most dedicated slop slurpers usually die after around 70 hours after succumbing to exhaustion or just outright refusing to consume any more. Upon death, the bond is broken and the vessel disappears from their grip. It will reappear on a nearby table or shelf as a different drinking vessel. So, I'll say this once. Watch what you're drinking. Coming in at number 3, we have SCP-5835. It's kind of like having a fairy godparent or a genie to hang out with, except it's the absolute worst and kind of a Welcome to SCP-5835, a tutelary parasite that takes the form of a male domestic canary. You can call it Mr. Cadmium Charleston Conrad Cole the Canary-Colored Canary, Esquire, or just Cadmium for short. This little yellow bird will appear when a human subject expresses a desire to no longer see the color yellow. When this happens, it'll pop up before the subject, remove their ability to see said color, and then disappear. From then on, the subject will only see grays and whites, where yellow used to be. But that's not the end of it, no. See, yellow isn't necessarily necessary for human life. Sure, it's nice to have, but I don't think anybody's life becomes unlivable in its absence. However, after removing it, 5835 will constantly manifest before the subject, harassing them with facts about the color yellow and its apparent importance. It will also generally act in a standoffish manner and cause minor inconveniences to the yellowless person. Sometimes it'll defecate on yellow foods. Other times it'll disappear by exploding, causing damage. This will continue until the subject apologizes or dies. Because of this, there can't be more than one instance existing at one time, which is kind of nice. If one does admit fault and say sorry to Mr. Cadmium, it will needle them with more yellow-tinged facts before begrudgingly accepting the apology. Oh, and he slips in a little lifelong indoctrination to the color yellow in there too, but you know, what that actually means still hasn't been discovered. Good luck if you're ever in that situation. Coming in at number 2, we've got SCP-072. Remember when you were a kid and tucking your entire body under the covers meant that you were completely safe from any monsters under the bed? Well, there might have been more wisdom in that than you think. SCP-072 is a shadowy, translucent projection that resembles a large hand with fingers that taper to a sharp point. It has only been observed to manifest when a human enters REM sleep in a bed infected by the anomaly while their feet are exposed to open air. Who would actually do this? We may never know. But when somebody meets these requirements, 072 will emerge from the foot of the bed and tap on the person's foot until they're awake. From that moment onward, the subject will basically be subject to sleep paralysis, able to see and experience what's going on, but unable to move. It's at this point that 072 begins to use its pointed fingers to cut portions of flesh away from the subject's exposed feet. With each strip cut away, it will return under the bed and then come out without said collected material. This process will continue until it's taken all of the exposed foot or feet away. Apparently it's very painful, but the paralytic effects prevent people from screaming or calling for help. Even so, this isn't fatal as long as subjects seek appropriate medical care. They will have lifelong psychological damage though. There's more than one bed, too. In fact, any bed within a 10-meter vicinity of one manifesting 072 will also gain an instance. The destruction of infected beds reveals no anomalous materials nor pieces of feet from the victims. And finally, at number 1, we've got SCP-2399. This massive, complex mechanical structure will destroy us all one day. It only seems to be a matter of time. Currently located in Jupiter's lower atmosphere, it is equipped with all sorts of antimatter-based weaponry. It's damaged, but it's been using little drones to repair itself for years. Based on broadcasts picked up from the structure, we can assume that it was coming for Earth with the express purpose of erasing us. However, it collided with one of Jupiter's moons and then found itself unable to escape Jupiter's gravitational pull. Since then, it's been rebuilding, and the rate at which it can do so is increasing. Even though it's damaged, it seems to have a limitless power supply, advanced electromagnetic shielding, matter-disrupting weaponry, and a precise tracking and targeting system. Essentially, the day it can pull itself free of Jupiter's orbit, we're pooched. No human weapons could conceivably affect it at this point. Hypothetically, an extremely large electromagnetic pulse could take it down, but that kind of tech doesn't exist outside of science fiction. Sheesh. Well, we can find some comfort in our inevitable doom, right? Boom. That's the noise we'll make when 2399 gets itself together. It's also the noise I'll use to start this outro. What'd you think of the list? Any of these tickle your fancy? What SCPs should I discuss in the next video? Make sure you let me know down in the comments. Speaking of comments, let's take a look at some of your more methodical ones from the top 5 scary insects more dangerous than murder hornets. Sherio88 says, PhD entomologist here. Did you know that it's thought that Darwin died of complications brought on by Chagas disease from a kissing bug? Also, one of my professors got a botfly on a trip to Costa Rica and let it develop fully in his shoulder. All the grad students got to watch it come out. Oof. I watched a few botfly extractions while researching that video, and let's just say it changed me. Mig says, others. Avengers Infinity War is the most ambitious crossover event in history. Keegan, hello horror heads, and welcome back to the scariest channel on YouTube, Life's Biggest Questions. Now you all know my deepest, darkest secret. I've got an alter ego, your voice in the void. Demonheart13 says, I once stepped into 3 consecutive red ant hills that were in my aunt's backyard. I stepped on one, and in my panic to get inside, I stepped on the one beside it and a smaller hidden one on the way. Surprisingly, I wasn't stung, but I attribute that to jumping directly into the shower fully clothed. Lucky you. I actually got bit on the eye by a red ant once when I was in the shower. Apparently it had been hanging out in my hair until I turned on the tap, at which point it crawled onto my face. Emily Banks says, Chungus disease. I just wanted everyone to see this. Thanks. Dark507 Deer says, can I get a shout out? You absolutely can. And that's all the time we have for today. Before I ride my bike off a cliff without ET in the basket, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe for more horrific hellspawn. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. There are plenty of anomalies that can make the we're talking about SCP-00 biological hazards. Shoot. Oh, and he slips in a little lifelong indoctrination to color yellow too. They will have lifelong silence. Since then, it's been rebuilding at the rate in which we It's also the news I'll use to, oh my god. Sherio88 says PDA 3 consecutive red hill. Why can't I read? And in my panic to get inside, I stepped on one and why can't I speak today? I'm so tired. Stop.